All right. We're going to talk about a man named Ray Lewis. He played pro ball for 17 years in the NFL. He played for the. He was actually one of the few players who played for the same team for all his whole career to the NFL. He played 17 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens. He was a two-time NFL Player of the Year. He had 2 Super Bowls. His first one in 2000, where he was MVP, and then he ended his career in 2013 with a Super Bowl. In 2003, he was NFL's most dominant player. And talk about his early life a little bit. He was born in Bartow, Florida, in May 15th, 1975. It was just him. He had a younger brother who went on to play running back at the University of Maryland. His dad wasn't around much, so his mom kind of took the roles as both parents. Through high school, he was a wrestling star and broke lots of school records. He played football too, but he was more of a wrestling star then. As he started getting big, he was actually featured on a show in this just a few years ago called A Football Life. And he talked about some of his ways of motivation. He said that he gets away from the world by using his weights, like by weightlifting. He kind of loses himself. And he said he also used his childhood troubles. Like he said in one of them, he says that he used to see, while he'd be working out, he'd see his mom's pain that she went through because he had plenty, she had plenty of boyfriends that abused her and stuff, and he was a part of that. So he uses stuff like that from his childhood to kind of push him through and motivate him and make himself a better person. And he incorporated a lot of that emotion into playing and practicing, which, football is very emotional to everybody. And he showed it with, like, after something big happened, he'd get up and scream and holler and dance around, do his little celebrating dance or whatever. But it wasn't always good for Ray. He had a lot of troubles. He had it was actually one time he was alleged killer. Something happened with his entourage. 2 guys were killed by his some guys that he was with, and supposedly he was in on it, but said something about a bloodstained tux was never found, so they could never convict him for the murder. He also had some physical issues. I'm not sure what the year was, but I know one year he was playing and broke his toe mid-game. Ended up missing the rest of the season. Along with just recently, I think it was 2 years ago, he tore his tricep and was out most of the 2012 season. And as he was getting back on the field, they said that he was,
I think it's a way.
as he was getting back to health, he a lot of people were accusing him of using a deer antler product that was it's like high in protein, and it helps to heal. Like it heals your joints and your muscles and stuff really, really fast. So it's kind of like using a steroid. It is actually banned by the NFL. He was an older player, which he just retired. And, he was in his 30s, and he still took his team all the way to the Super Bowl in his final season at the age of 32. All his preparation was there's so many videos on the Football Life show of him working out like 5-6 hours every single day, and there's videos of him every time you see him. He's either in the gym or he's in the film room, and he studied film like no other. What came of his intense preparation, he actually led the Ravens in tackles 12 out of 14 seasons, which he missed 3, I guess, because he played 17 in all. The Ravens didn't allow a single 100-yard rusher for 51 consecutive games with over a span of 3 years, I think is what it was, and that's cited from nspatriots.com. Ray was actually listed as the Sports List 3rd best linebacker of all time. Like I said, at the end of his career, he ended it with a Super Bowl. There were many times where they made it to the championship game or the NFC championship, and we get beat. There's actually a guy that he did a lot of stuff giving back to like veterans and stuff like that, and there was a guy that had a terminal illness. Can't remember if it was cancer or what. This was on Football Life, but he told Ray that he wasn't going to die until they won the Super Bowl, and actually got beat in the NFC championship one year, and the guy actually died soon after. So, but now he's retired, and he is. You can see him on Sports Center. He's a sportscaster. He says all the time. But he is my role model by far. So you gotta go around the audience.
That was a good speech.
How long was that?